Two big topics at one Jacksonville High School coming to a head as we speak. Protesters are gathered at Robert E. Lee High School to push the district to rename the school and to stand behind a reassigned Lee teacher who they say was wrongly pushed out of the classroom. On your side's David Jones is live at Lee right now. He's been speaking with protesters there.
Jeannie, as we speak, the fifth and final community input meeting on the proposed renaming of Robert E. Lee High School is kicking off inside the school. I'll step out of the way here. We've been following protests that have been happening across the street from Lee High School throughout the afternoon. Leading up to the meeting, protesters and Lee alumni stood here with a message for the district: rename Lee and reinstate suspended teacher Amy D'Onofrio. Her supporters say D'Onofrio, a popular teacher here at Lee High School and the co-founder of the EVAC movement, was suspended for hanging a Black Lives Matter flag at her classroom. D'Onofrio has posted earlier this week that Lee admin forced her to take that flag down. That led to outcry. Her group and other students have been vocal in support of a name change here at Lee, even planning a walkout that was supposed to happen yesterday but was called off when the administration stepped in. Tonight's meeting on the school's potential renaming is the last before balloting begins next month. We've been speaking with protesters, including one Lee alumni, earlier this afternoon.
The school's been predominantly black, and at the end of the day, I think it's about human empathy, and you need to listen to people of color. If they're telling you that it makes them uncomfortable, how hard is that? No one's going to lose the history.
So the district has two situations on its hands here: the proposed renaming of the school and D'Onofrio's paid suspension. DCPS has not said whether the suspension is related to the BLM flag. We're about to head inside as district leaders start to hear from both proponents and opponents of the renaming. We'll of course bring you all of that as it happens. For now, we're live at Lee High School. David Jones, First Coast News, on your side.
David, thanks so much. Right now, police in Jacksonville Beach are looking for 3 people accused of theft. Take a look at your screen right now. Investigators say this happened at the Edward Watts Golf Store on 3rd Street South. It was earlier this month. Police say these 3 men were caught on camera putting merchandise in their clothes and then just walking out of the store. They left in a black SUV. So if you have any information, please contact police.
A criminal probe into the failed sale of the city's water and electric utility taking a big step forward today. Witnesses reporting to federal court to testify before a grand jury. Federal prosecutors have been investigating the botched privatization effort of JEA since at least last April. That work important here in Jacksonville, where JEA is owned by taxpayers. On your side's Ann Schindler was there when witnesses began showing up in response to subpoenas today, and she's joining us live now from the courthouse with the latest details.